Thank you so much. Great. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us during your lunch period. This is a lunchtime meeting for DBEs and those non-DBEs to discuss the tri-annual DBE goal that was set for El Metro, as well as to discuss a large upcoming project that I'm sure many of you will be interested in. My name is Goodwill Pierre from Goodwill Pierre LLC, DB consultant retained by El Metro to help them with their goals and to be able to turn them into the federal to FTA. Members of my team on this line is Miracle Cooper, Brandon Pierce. They're our compliance officers, as well as my general counsel, Matt Woodard. This, like I said, this meeting is being videotaped. And without further ado, I want to introduce the leader of this event, Mr. Eduardo Bernal, who is the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Liaison Officer for El Metro. And he will start introducing and also start the program. And I'm going to share screen right now, Eddie, while you are introducing yourself, okay?
Okay. Well, good afternoon and welcome to our El Metro, Laredo Transit Management, Inc., DBE Virtual Public Outreach. My name is, again, Eduardo Bernal. I am the Grant Administrator and DBE Liaison for El Metro. We do have several El Metro staff with us, and I'm going to introduce them. We do have Mr. Eliseo Valdez. He's our procurement officer. We have Ms. Monica Garcia. She is the assistant general manager for administration and also public outreach coordinator. We have Ms. Rose Martinez, is the asset liaison for El Metro. We also have Ms. Sandy Esparza. She is the operations manager. We also have Ms. Rosa Soto. She is the assistant general manager of operations. And I believe I have everyone that I mentioned. If I missed someone, I do apologize, but I think I got everybody in Goodwill. So again, welcome, and I'm going to go over several slides and then pass the meeting to Mr. Goodwill Pierre. As you know, the city of Laredo and El Metro receives several federal funds from various grant programs from the Federal Transit Administration. And I'm just going to go over real quick what the type of grant programs are. As you can see on your screen, we have the formula grant programs that are funded through urbanized areas such as Laredo, based on formulas using population and the national transit data submitted. We also have discretionary grant programs that are awarded by meeting application requirements, and those are extremely very competitive. Let's go to the next screen, and let's talk about quickly on the formula grants. We have several. First of all, the first one that we have is the 5307 Urbanized Areas Formula Program. This provides public assistance for operating assistance for El Metro, planning, and job access for diverse community projects. We in Laredo, we use that money for basically 75% goes to operating assistance, and the other 25% goes to capital programs like preventive maintenance on our buses and our vans. The 5339 is the bus and bus facilities program. This is also formula grant monies that we receive for bus and bus facilities improvements. We mostly use those monies for the purchase of rolling stock, like your buses and your paratransit vans, and also sometimes we use monies for improvement of our facilities. The other are competitive grants. That's on 5339, section 5339B, bus and bus facilities infrastructure program. Those are a competitive allocation process to all the states and transit agencies to replace and rehab and purchase buses and related equipment, including construction of new bus-related facilities. As I mentioned, these are very competitive applications, programs that the FTA and DOT, and they offer on an annual basis, these programs. I believe that's all the grants that we receive, and I believe that's I'm going to pass it to Mr. Gruber here.
Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate it. Now, before I get into the purpose, I just want to make sure, and she put it in the chat for everyone, but for those who are on phones, we're blessed to have, and she's always supportive. I'm so glad that she accepted the invitation to be part of it. Miss Tina Rodriguez is here from Texas A&M International University. She's with the Small Business Development Center, and we're going to get down further into the presentation that will allow she can give her a time to kind of talk about a program, especially the methods and the ability she has to certify you if you're interested in becoming a disadvantaged business enterprise with the state of Texas. So thank you, Tina, for being on the call.
Sure.
Let's go over now the purpose of this presentation. What I expect everyone to get from it. We're going to provide an overview of the projects and the methodology that's used to calculate the goals. We're going to discuss the goals, like I said, how we calculate them, and then we're going to get input from you guys on what adjustments should be made to the goal methodology or the goal, and that's very important. And we'll talk about that when we get further into the presentation. I also want to mention that this presentation should be probably about 10 minutes at the most, or 15. And like I said, there are 30 people on the line. I expect about 50-something people registered, but there's going to be time for everyone to introduce themselves so that everyone can know who you are, as well as the type of services you provide. But more important, you heard that El Metro's procurement director is there, DBLO, PIO officer, and so your opportunity to be seen and heard by El Metro and anyone else needing business. And so we'll give you that opportunity. For those who are not speaking or don't have a question, please make sure you put your phone on mute so that we won't get an echo in the recording. So let's start this. The DBE regulations for all the nerds like me, just to give you a point of reference. 49 Code of Federal Regulations, CFR Part 26 for DOT, and this falls into Federal Transit Association, DBE programs for recipients and contracting. The recipients are those entities who receive federal funds, El Metro being an entity that receives federal funds, and provides requirements for goal setting for federally funded contracts and includes basic certification standards for both DBEs and for small businesses. Now, I'm going to just mention through the code how we calculate the goal, and then we'll tell you what the goal is, and then we'll get down to what project we base that goal on. And so in determining the base figure, El Metro elected to use as its approach the United States Census data, basically for every next code, and we're gonna explain what the next code is, in the state of Texas County Business Patterns for 2019. And then for the number of DBEs that are available, we use the Texas Unified Certification Program for all certified DBEs. The market area we chose was the state of Texas because the majority of individuals who are Sikhs or who has contracts with El Metro all over Texas, not just in Webb County. Once we determine the step one, the baseline goal, which is the DBE availability, then we adjust it. And that's what we did in this case, and we'll explain that to you. So we examine all the available evidence to determine what adjustments to the goal, if needed, to the base figure. The types of evidence we look at and examine include past accomplishments, which we'll talk about, disparity studies that might have occurred or might have taken place in the area, goals from other transit programs, and then the continued effects of past discrimination ongoing in DBE program, which is one of the questions we ask you guys at the end. So right down to it, the goal for the next 3 years on all projects is 3.835%. That's our goal. Now, it's not a quota because there's some contracts that may have a goal, some contracts that may not have a goal. We base this goal on one contract, and we'll also explain to you about potential other contracts that may be added, and if it's so, then we'll seek permission from FTA to adjust our goal. But right now, that means that 3.835% of all contract dollars, and we're talking about for this next 3 years, $12 million on this project that we're going to discuss in the next slide. we have to make a good faith effort, as well as the prime contractors who may not be DBE have to make a good faith effort to achieve. And El Metro does a good job in making sure that when everyone signs what they know who's available and what type of opportunities. Now, the project that is a focus on these goals calculations happens to be just one contract in which they receive federal funds, is a $12.3 million phase one. Emphasize phase one. That means there's several other phases. Is the new administration, operation, and maintenance facility. It's FTA, majority FTA funded and locally funded. The total project estimate cost is way above $30 million. I think it's $30 million, but when I spoke to Mr. Bernal, he mentioned to me that it might be somewhat larger than $30 million. This is going to be located on Jacaman and Bartlett Avenue. Hope I pronounced that correct. Anything you want to add to that before I go into the different trades, Mr. Bernal? Or like timetables or anything of that nature?
Sure. Will, the city engineer went ahead and did an RFQ to upgrade and update the design of the facility, and I was informed that they received 3 proposals, and they're currently being reviewed and scored, and they are scheduled to go to the Mass Transit Board on July the 26th. To proceed with contract negotiations. So I foresee a contract of the actual design very soon, and hopefully to break ground maybe early spring or early summer of next year.
So thank you. And what I want everyone, there's 2 things I want everyone to get from this. And I'm a small business, and I've worked in different government positions. And so the first thing I want everyone to understand is that you have time. This is not one of those presentations in which El Metro has all the DBEs they needed or has all the contracts. It is not one of these presentations in where we're saying we're presenting this and all of a sudden the bid's going to come out next week. You know what I mean? There's going to be another presentation that's a pre-con or pre-bid meeting, and you have time to get everything together, do some joint ventures, all kinds of things. That's the whole reason why we're doing this. So I'm excited and glad about this particular project. I've been knowing Eddie for about 5 years. And I also work with the airport. Can you please turn your phone on mute? I hear echo. Yes. And so that's the first takeaway that I want everyone to get from this before I go on to the different scopes that are possible. The second takeaway for all my engineering design folks out there, and I know who you are. I got quite a few people I know on this call who always ask, "Hey, is this construction or is this room for me?" The 3.835% goal is on engineering design stuff as well as construction stuff, and is also can be enlarged to include all things that go to and goes to the construction of it, as long as that business performs a commercially useful function. And so we'll talk about, so yes, there is room because the engineer design that they have is also has to have a goal in it. And so there's civil engineers, all kinds of, there's room for you guys as well. Now let's talk about the breakdown. Now this is awesome. Take notes, especially all my non-DBE primes out there or anyone else. This is one of the few times where you're gonna get budget amounts and next codes and breakdown. Very transparent here. Not saying that we're married to these numbers, but the purpose of this is to be transparent and let all the potential individuals who might bid on this, especially if you're DBE or you want to be a DBE, to know how we get this goal. So we have a total amount, and we've had the previous design engineer provide to me a approximate budgetary amount or percent amount of all of many of the different subcontracting opportunities. If you notice, it includes landscaping, testing laboratories, engineering services, architectural services. These are all the different that we anticipate and predict and can change. Because as Eddie said, we have a little approximate scope that we send to get the funding from FTA, and then we have to spec it out in order for businesses to be able to bid. And so when we get this amount, we go to the United States Census data and we determine the number of firms in the state of Texas who actually do this work, who stated in the census data. We have all these numbers. That's the denominator. The numerator is all the DBEs. And if you're certified, we assume that you're ready, willing, and able. And we divide that number and then multiply by the weight to give a true aspect of what aspect of the availability of DBEs are available to bid and actually get this work. And that's where we get these numbers added up, and that's the availability number, 8.67. So if it was just that, you know what I mean, it would be the goal. But as I explained before, and it's not in this presentation, but as I explained before, we look at other aspects of accomplishments to change it. So we want to be realistic. Because of the type of contracts in the past, you know, El Metro has not reached its accomplishments. And so we take that into consideration, take the median of those, I guess, you know, times when it had not met its goal, and its goal's gone from 5% down to 1%, but this time it's gone to 3.83%, 3.835, because we've averaged the median of the shortfalls of not meeting the goals to the actual goal, and we feel that this number is more than we're more than capable of reaching that goal. Now, do we stay there? No, there's some parts of this that maybe we'll get 8%, 10%, but this is our goal that we're going to shoot. And if we go over, that's great. We're trying not to go below. It's not a quota. It's a goal that everyone has to make a good faith effort to achieve. By the way, this presentation is going to be available for everyone. You're going to get an email of this presentation as well. I'm going to provide it to El Metro, and they can post it, put it up on their website, along with the goal that's going to be sent and approved by the FTA. Let's talk about certification very quickly. And I also want Tina to prepare to introduce yourself, because I'm going to bring you on very quickly. In order to count toward the DBE goal, DBEs must be certified by the Texas Unified Certification Program. Here's information about the program, but you guys are blessed to have in Laredo a small business development program in which at Texas A&M International University. And Tina, could you just mention the type of services you provide for those people who want to be certified? Now, I want to mention, though, this is not to suggest that you have to be a DBE certified to work on a project. Anyone who submits a bid is determined responsive, and that you have the capacity to do the work and work on it. So this is not to suggest that if you're not a DBE, don't think about it. But to count toward the 3.835, you have to be certified. And so you have right in your backyard, and then everyone in the other jurisdictions, because we have about people within Texas and even outside the state of Texas in this meeting. You have similar entities that can assist you as well. So Tina, I'm going to put myself on mute and give you an opportunity to talk about your services.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. My name is Pima Rodriguez. I work here with PAMU Small Business Development Center. I am a certified business advisor. With Small Business Development Center, we assist anybody that wants to start up a business, expand their business. Expanding can be anywhere from getting DBE certified, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise certified, Small Business Enterprise certified, different types of certifications that we can help out with. We are a nationwide program. Anywhere that you live at here in the U.S., you can find the Small Business Development Center. We do not charge for our services. We'll help you, guide you step by step on getting all these types of certifications. We'll set you up as a vendor with different state, local government agencies. That way you can start bidding on these contracts. So this is something that we can help out with. We are funded by the state and government. This is why we don't charge for our services. And anytime that you meet with a certified business advisor, all your advising sessions are confidential. And if you need to reach me, I can be reached at 956-326-2827. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, check out our website. It's sbdc.pamu.edu. I also put our information on the chat box.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Tina. I appreciate you being on, and please stay on because there might be some questions directed at you or towards you at the end. Here's now the next thing. So there's a couple more things we have to do as part of this presentation. That's going to include comments from you, those who are in the meeting, and then we're going to open up for questions and then give everyone time to introduce themselves. And like I said, our time is we're moving very efficiently. It's 12:27. So one of the things that we're required to do, because this is real, the DBE program is there to remove barriers to success for people who've historically been marginalized and not been given an opportunity to get a contract, much less compete. So the three questions that El Metro has to ask, and that's why they have me as an intermediary, we have to ask anyone who are part of these presentations for a goal, three questions. And these three questions can be found in 49 CFR Part 26.45. The questions are, do you know of any other disadvantaged business enterprise or non-disadvantaged business enterprise that should be included? I told you we looked at the Texas Unified Certification Program. That's our only source. Prior to this, Tina mentioned to me that she has a bunch of DBEs as well, but there might be others. One of the things that are part of this is anyone who can be DBE but is not, we have to include that. And if we include those individuals in the numerator, that tends to increase the goal. And so we have to ask you, ask everyone here, are you aware of any other place, location, or anything else in which we can get a list of individuals who may not be certified but can be, that need to be added to the goal, or anything that we should be aware about that should decrease the goal? Any of that, please, this is your time once I finish everything, the three questions, for you to let us know. The second question is, do you know, either because of something that happened to you, something that happened to one of your kinfolks, your friend, anywhere, have you heard of anybody or anything that has affected someone from getting a contract or presenting or bidding? So the effect of discrimination on contract opportunities with Metro. Is there anything that you can provide to us, and this is going to be sent to FTA, that you can make us aware of any incident or anything of that nature that could potentially, as a result of discrimination, affect a DBE or someone who could be a DBE from actually being able to submit a bid or compete for contract opportunities with El Metro? The final question is, do you have any comments, discussions, suggestions, or anything like that on El Metro's efforts to establish a level playing field for the participation of DBEs? You know, responsibility of a recipient is not just to put a program and not do anything. This outreach event, as opposed to just kind of talking about the goal, but to also include business opportunities and also have it presented early enough ahead of time so that we can actually promote more participation, is one of the many things that recipients should be doing. But there are a lot of other things. And so the last question that I'm going to present to you and allow people to talk is, can you comment on El Metro's efforts to establish a level playing field for the participation of DBEs? You can say that they're doing a good job. I've never heard of El Metro. This is the first time. I think they're doing okay. Anything. And so this is a time where I'm going to put that out there and just put myself on mute. And anyone that wants to comment, respond to any one of those three questions, please state your name, your business, and which question you are responding to. And we'll allow you time to kind of discuss that with us.
Hello? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well. Yes, we can. Please state your name and your company and with which bullet point are you about to speak on, or all three?
Okay, so my name is Gloria Taolawi. I own Get Corp Cleaning Services. I just want to ask, what place will my business play in Metro's construction work? We do construction cleaning. and I didn't see cleaning there, like final cleaning or puff cleaning. And so that's why that's one of my questions. In terms of the question you asked, I have a friend here also listening to this program. She's also DBE certified, but she didn't get the invitation. Her name is Dr. Roslyn Francis. She can speak to the camera. Okay.
Yes, hi. My name is Dr. Francis. I do have a business. It's a global supply business, but I did not receive this invitation to hear about this presentation today. So I'm here to see if, how we all can work together moving forward.
Great. So if I understand, Doctor, one of the things you're trying to say is by virtue that you may not have received it, even though I stated that I sent it to all the TUCP companies, that we need to do a better job in making sure the word gets out to you guys. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay. And in that note, for other opportunities over the last 3 years, have you received any email or notices about opportunities from El Metro?
No, I have not. We're new, and so we're just trying to figure out the system and how we can move forward.
Okay, you're new. Okay, great. Thank you for including that you're new. Okay, that's very good. That's a very well stated comment. Appreciate it. Anything else?
Thank you.
No, that's my first comment regarding those of us that do construction cleaning. Where's our place in this project?
Okay, so I'm gonna stop. I think Eddie, I don't think it'll take too long for you to respond to that. If you know, I know that there is a place that we can work and develop and make sure that she either directly through El Metro or through one of potential general contractors that you might eventually pick will be able to be part of any aspect of her scope of work. Would you like to add anything, Eddie?
I do want to mention that we do have our city engineer and our environmental services director in our meeting, and like I mentioned before, we are in the process of updating the designs at this time, but we all, you can reach me via email or call to explain, a little bit of the project. Is that okay, Google, with that, or do I do?
Well, one of the things, yeah, and now one of the things that has changed, and Gloria and everyone else, since COVID and a lot of other things that may have happened to the city of Laredo, is that, and I'm a business as well. One of the things that I had to do that I did not do is I had to register as a vendor. Regardless of what happens, you have to do that anyway. I didn't have to do that before when I received my first contract with the Department of City of Laredo, but I have to do that now. And since I've done that, I've been receiving a lot of email. However, one of the things that is the responsibility of the DBLO is, in addition to individuals who have registered, we're supposed to also, especially if there's a goal, make sure that email goes out to, at minimum, the TUCP, DBE certified companies, as well as organizations and groups that may have DBEs who can be on this. So that's one of the things that I will work with El Metro to incorporate into their business model. But that's not a problem. So thank you for that. Anybody else?
Yes, I have a suggestion, maybe reaching out to the purchasing department for the city of Laredo, the Webb County, UISD, LISD, PAMU, Laredo College, and they have a list of registered vendors. So they can send out contract bid notifications, just like this meeting that we're having, to their vendors and suppliers. Also, the Texas Department of Transportation, they have a directory for DBE certified businesses. We've already certified, but you can reach out to them. They have their contact information on their directory. The Centralized Masters Bidders List, CMBL. Those are HUB certified, which is historically underutilized businesses. Potential for disadvantaged business enterprise certification. And of course, we can always reach out to the Small Business Development Center, and we send out these notifications to our clients. And these are small business owners. Some of them are certified, some of them aren't.
Thank you so much, Tina. Would you be so kind as to send me a separate email or put that in the chat box? I know that we did record it, but those
Yes.
particular action items, I want to make sure that that Eddie and everyone in his procurement division gets that and incorporated it. But those are good responses to number one, and I appreciate that, Tina, as always.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Great. Anybody else?
Yes, hello?
Yes. One day
Yes,
came in. What's your name?
David Delancey. I'm
Great.
the owner of One Day Came Incorporated. We're a DBE certified minority prime general contractor. We also do design build. It is my understanding that that 3 firms were selected to build this project, prime contractors already. Is this a CM select, or is this have they been shortlisted for this?
I'm on mute. Okay, I'll let Mr. Burnell follow up, but I think they're talking about the design person. An RFQ was sent out, and this is the design portion in order to put the specs together for bid. I don't recall anyone saying it was a design build, but I could be corrected. Eddie, isn't that true? This is not. We hadn't had firms to build anything yet. That will be done in the future, and it was talk about the date. Probably spring of 2022. Is that correct, Eddie?
Yeah, that's correct, Will. We didn't include the build in the RFQ, but I do have Mr. Ramon Chavez, our civil engineer, that was the leading on the RFQ process. Mr. Chavez can elaborate a little bit on the question, Mr. Chavez.
Okay, so it hadn't been out. The RFQ for construction management hadn't been solicited yet.
No,
not yet.
Okay, as a DBE firm, I was looking at the possibilities of having a joint venture put together to go after this, or what is your take on DBE being part of a joint venture team to perform in the construction phase of this project?
you are blessed, David, for 2 reasons. One, that's something that that recipients must encourage, and there's actual process and requirements for official joint ventures and how they should be composed in order to have the portion of the joint venture, if you're talking about a non-DBE and DBE, to count toward the DBE goal. So there is actual built-in process. I know a lot of people who are DBE certified probably have not read 49 CFR Part 26, because being certified is a means to end. I'm one of those nerds who read it all the time. But that's the first level of your timeliness of your question. The second level of timeliness of your question is, yesterday I was it was communicated to me from another person on this call, who's a civil engineer firm who does do construction management, who happens to be DBE, looking to joint venture with someone, and they're in this meeting right now. So if you'll get the list of everyone who signed up with their email address and everything emailed to you. But at the end of this call, when people introduce themselves, Guillermo, I want you to bring that out, and anyone else that are large companies who might look at having a DBE partner, to probably shoot to indicate that in your elevator pitch. I will give everyone the parameters for your elevator pitch toward the end. You're not going to be talking forever, but that will answer your question, David.
Okay, if there are any large firms who are interested, we totally are, being that we are a minority DBE firm.
Great. And David, just for the record, you have given your elevator pitch, so you will not be giving it again. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Great.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello?
great.
Hello?
Okay, yes. Okay, we had two people. We have Quentin, and then we had
Yes.
another person who was trying to speak. Who was that other person besides Quentin Washington?
This is Ray Gutierrez. I'll do
That
that
was
after.
Ray.
Sharice Johnson with
And
RSI
Sharice
Systems.
Johnson. Okay, so it's going to be what I heard. I heard Quentin, then I heard a female voice. It'll be Sharice, and then Ray from Houston. I know him well. Good to hear you, Ray. We're going to have you guys speak in that order. So, Quentin, go ahead. Do you have anything related to? Now, let me say something though, not to take away from anyone. We're going to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. We're more than ahead of time. I mean, we have over 15 minutes, but we want to make sure that we address these questions because it's not just something that we just throw out there. We really want to know the availability of any other disadvantaged businesses and non-disadvantaged businesses. We really want to know if you've heard of anything, any effects of discrimination on contract opportunities for you or anyone else. And we really want to know your opinion on LA Metro's efforts to establish a level playing field for the participating DBEs. So even if you start off with that, then go into your other question, it'll be really appreciated so that we can actually do the things that we're required to do pursuant to the rules and not just have a meeting just to have it. And so with that said, Quentin, you are up.
Okay, I just wanted to say that, thanks, number one, for getting the invitation, to join in on the conversation. As far as availability of disadvantaged businesses and non-disadvantaged businesses, I'm trying to get a better understanding of what you're looking for there.
So for example, in Houston, I'm giving you that, we have Metro. And in Houston, we also have the Houston Minority Supply Diversity Council. We also have the Women's Business Enterprise Alliance. And then we have, COMTO, local COMTO, and we have National Association of Minority Contractors. So if I was to do this for that transit association here in Houston, looking at the TUCP would not be enough because there are people who might be members of National Association of Minority Contractors, the Hispanic Contractors Association, the Conference of Minority Transportation Officials, and all those other things I named, who I should actually have been reaching out to and including in the numerator. So, for example, if I was to go back up to give you a real good actual example, I have here. Let me get a big number. So, for example, structural steel and precast concrete contractors. So I have here the number of all firms in Texas as 371 firms. So in the census data 2019, they have listed 371 firms who does this scope of work, okay, in this next code. Then in the certified TUCP, we have 49 DBEs who decided to get certified who put this in their next code. Now, we might have a member of the Hispanic Contract Association, if this was Houston, okay, who I didn't bother sending an email out to, or COMTO, or like if it was Laredo, Tina might say, hey, Goodwill, it would have been nice if you had sent a survey to me so I can give you some of the businesses who are trying to be DBE certified. Then that would be your answer. You say, okay, Mr. Pierre, you guys just use TUCP, but I know for sure that you probably should have sent this in advance to the Conference of Minority Transportation Officials, National Association of Minority Contractors, because I have friends that I know who does this type of work like I do, but they're not DBE certified. And if you include them, then this number right here, instead of 49, might have been 150. And 150 over 371 is greater than 4.08. So that, I'm going to embarrass myself to do the math. And so that number would have got this number bigger. And then if we was to divide that from their actual negative participation and the median of the average of that, it would have been a higher number than 3.87.
I got it.
I just broke that down. I'm so proud of myself. That's the first time I ever did that. But that answers your question directly of how the answer to this question, affects that. Now, if it from a time, we have issues on time, but what happened is that those answers, I'm required to go out and get those names, even if it's if I can't do it before we have to turn this in by July 15th, I can request adjustment of it to actually request permission to adjust it based upon new information. And that new information would be the information that I received from this meeting. So I'll submit this in with 3.85. However, you told me all these information that you said to me, you can email to me. I'll send out information to find out the type of businesses who are DBE, not DBE, cross-reference that with the 49 people that names I have. I say, oh, well, there's 15 people who are not part of that 49. Let's
Correct.
add them to the numerator, but I also have to add them to the denominator. You know what I mean? Or add them to the numerator and assume that they're already part of the denominator if they're Texas companies, right? And then
Yes.
I would submit an adjustment to that goal, and maybe that goal is higher. Did I answer
Gotcha.
your question?
Yes, you did.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
because
much.
we're DBEs, which are under TUCP. That's how we went in and got our.
Yeah, so you are part of that 49. Well, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I assume that you actually did that work, but if you're and here's another thing, you know, I have all these things right here, but someone right here might be you know, on all contracts, OSHA requirements say you have to have water, you have to have, you know, go to Home Depot and buy a big old tub with Gatorade and things of that nature. That's required on some of these contracts, and I might be missing that scope. Or I might be missing a scope that I don't see here, but there might be a little sub scope or something like that that should be part of this. That's something else as well. I may not have captured the entire scope of businesses who should be included. And a lot of times when we submit these to the FTA or any other organizations part of DOT, they will make us aware of that. The engineer at Mel Metro did a great job. In fact, in all the times I've done this, it's usually less than this. So we broke down the scope quite dynamically, but you never know. We got flooring and everything like that, but there might be something dealing with windows that I don't see here or anything, you know. So that's another example.
Okay. Yeah. My other question, and looking at the screen that you have up, was that I didn't see anything that was related, I guess, that called out like quality control, quality assurance. Other
That would be under testing.
Okay, because I see you have testing laboratories, but I guess I was just trying to make sure that incorporated inspectors and things like that. Sort of
when you
be on the project.
When we do engineering services, and by the way, this is recorded, and I'll double check. That's the whole purpose of this. But if I recall correctly, when I look at engineering services, they also include, you know, testing and all these other things in this next code. But what I'll do, though, since I can't tell you I'm 100% sure, is I'll go back and make sure that that's included.
Okay. And I'll yield some time to the others. I don't want to monopolize the time.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, Sharice, and then Ray.
Okay, thank you for your time. This is Sharice Johnson with RSI Systems, and we actually are a technology communications firm based right here in Houston, Texas. We have 13 certifications, including our SBA and the certifications with the City of Houston, HMSDC as well. And one thing I would say is accessibility is something that I think this virtual space addresses, but you also possibly the in-person would make a difference, because I had never heard of this actual particular metro. And so through the virtual, I was able to attend, but the in-person as well. So the accessibility, I think, will help to increase as you get more of the word out to the other businesses.
I agree. The new normal, as a result of the unfortunate event of COVID-19, has created a greater space for us to touch and reach people, which allows you to know the existence of El Metro, and of course allows you to hopefully get more business, either through directly yourself or by joint venturing. One of the things that you mentioned, I don't know if you intended or didn't intend, that I pulled out from it, is that you're a communication company. And so one of the things that's not part of the hard specifications and construction contract is those little soft things that could be reached, that could be communicated to in possible opportunity. So whereas that may not be on the list, I encourage you to reach out by email to Eddie or the procurement folks or engineers when they get hired, to find out if there's any opportunity, you know, post-construction or even during, that maybe a business with your scope can be included. Another thing that I want to mention is there's some companies outside Laredo that might have to set up shop if they're blessed with a contract, and they need communication things, or they might need, so, and then that counts toward the goal. So if you have a Quinton or anyone else that gets a sub under someone to do some work, and then they have to set a trailer up and they need communication. Just go with me because I assume that's what you mean by communication. I might be wrong, but you get my point.
Well, that's
You know,
one
you
of the
can-
aspects, but
you can
definitely,
actually,
yeah.
you can actually go in and actually serve. So I don't want you to think that just because you don't see it there, that you don't have a part to play. That's the point. Ray,
Right.
you're next.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you, Ray.
Okay. Good. Good morning to all. I want to thank y'all for the outreach. I think this is wonderful. I've not done business in Laredo, but I did business with the county of Webb many years ago. I think I applaud y'all for actually extending this opportunity externally of Laredo. And as we all know, in the last 10 years, Laredo has quadrupled in size. Without a doubt, I think reaching out to other vendors and opportunists out here is a good thing. Without us, like other people had mentioned, not knowing that this was going on. Laredo seems to be a small, entwined organization. Should I say the city itself? But I see that y'all, this is a blessing to be able to extend yourselves. And I have a company called Houston Construction Services, but I'm not here for myself. I think that everybody should have an opportunity to look at this wonderful situation. And the more that El Metro expands and the city of Laredo expands, the more opportunity it brings. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it. So what I want to do now, I appreciate all the comments, and I encourage you guys also to email if you have additional comments or questions or statements related to the three bullet points that we're trying to solicit from you. But I'm going to go down the list to allow individuals to introduce themselves and their type of business. I'm going to give you a 45 seconds from an elevator pitch perspective to communicate your first and last name, your business, what type of work you do, if you're prime or sub, and if you're looking for joint venture opportunities, okay? So I'm gonna start with the phone first. We have well, the phone doesn't have a name on it, 281-979-9822. If you can unmute yourself, I'll unmute you.
Well,
Okay, go ahead, you can speak.
okay. Thank you, Goodwill. Appreciate this invitation. It's great to hear that we are working toward these goals. And I want to say congratulations to all of the DBEs. I'm not a DBE. My name is April. Oh, can y'all hear me okay?
Yes. Oh, April Day, Dr. Day. Okay, go ahead, April. Go ahead.
I think I had a little bit of a delay when I was speaking. And thank you, Goodwill. I'm excited to use that new title. So I guess I should start using it. But yes, my name is Dr. April Day. I'm the president with the Women's Business Enterprise Alliance, which Goodwill talked about earlier when he said WBEA, and we provide the certification for small businesses that are women-owned. So we do the WBE certification, and then we also provide the federal certification through the SBA, which is Women-Owned Small Business Certification. And then we have a partnership with Texas, and we do the Hub certification as well. In addition, we have a Women's Business Center that operates two programs, one a direct response to COVID under the CARES Act, and then another one that provides startup assistance. And so we do a lot of technical procurement and access to lending, especially as you are moving through contracts and working on teaming and joint ventures. I would love to see this goal be met, and we have a lot of opportunities for you all as well to help you to pursue this goal. And Goodwill, I'm excited to work with you in this. And so anything that the WBA can help provide any of the DBEs and you as you're pursuing the goal, sending out the information, reaching more of the individuals that should be a part of the program but aren't part of the program, we are definitely willing to be there and help you facilitate this goal. And once again, thank you so much. And I really want to say congratulations on Metro, because this is a feat, and we appreciate you investing in the small business community.
Thank you, Dr. Day. I know you went over your 45 seconds, but you with your resource organization, so that's why I did it. But I want to ask two questions. Well, a question and then a statement. One, I really want to connect you with Tina Rodriguez. I think that you guys, it would be a good match. So I'm going to do a separate email to for Tina and you to connect. The second is, and excuse me if I do the wrong acronym, but does your RPO extend out to Laredo? I know it extends to San Antonio, but does it include Laredo, or would they have to?
Yes, I believe so.
Great, that's perfect. So I'll include you in there. Okay, so next, Guillermo, can you please, 45 seconds, your business. So I'm going to stick hard to that 45 seconds. Your name, the business, scope of work, and also the type of, if you're looking for any joint venture opportunities or anything like that. And for Mr. Delancey, this is the person who I was referring to, referring about. So Guillermo, you're up.
Thank you, Pierre. My name is Guillermo Villalobos, and I work with Project Management Associates, and we're located in Bedford, Texas. We are a DBE firm. We are a civil engineering design firm. We also have airport design expertise, but we're looking also for teaming up with somebody, either prime or sub, or in any way we can provide our services to you. Would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Guillermo, and I'm definitely going to work on connecting you with Delancey after the call. Okay, Simran Sobti, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. You're up.
Oh, you're fine. It's Simran, but you were very close.
Thank you.
My name is Simran Sobti. I'm the president of Interstate Fuel Logistics. We're a fuel supply, manufacturing, and distribution firm.
Awesome.
Located out of Houston, Texas. We are certified DBE, MBE, WBE, and SBE. And we are also certified in several states across the United States.
That is awesome. Please connect with me. There's so many places that I need to drop your name with, but that's good. Good for you to be on this call. Thank you. Alex Galloway.
Thank you.
Alex Galloway, you're up. You're on the phone, Alex. I'll unmute. Okay, Alex, we'll come back to you. And David, you spoke. Edward Andrews. Edward.
Yes, I work with Guillermo. We're a civil engineering design firm. We also have a testing lab, and we're looking for opportunities either in the as a sub or a prime, and any introductions you can make, we will be very grateful for.
Great way to reclaim your time. Next, Jean Belmers, you're up. Jean.
That's not bad, Pierre. You did really well. Goodwill, you did good on that last name.
Thank you.
My name is Jean Belmers. I am with Liquid Studio Group. We are currently a vendor to El Metro Transit. We are a full-service digital advertising marketing agency. We also do governmental affairs, public relations, communications, and crisis management. We have built the El Metro website and the El Metro app that they currently use. We are not DBE certified, but we are working on that. And I just made an appointment with Tina Rodriguez to follow through on that and get that done this coming year.
Gene, that's awesome. And I'm gonna circle back and connect with you. Thank you so much for being on the call. Now we have Jose Soto. Jose? Jose, I'm gonna unmute you myself to see if that helps. Okay, Jose, we're gonna skip over you and talk to Nehemiah Moreno. Nehemiah? Okay, we're gonna go to, I know Mr. Chavez, you're with El Metro. Ray, you spoke. Martinez, R. Martinez. I'm gonna unmute you. Okay, next, Ranok Singh, Interstate Fuel Logistics.
Hey there. My sister just went a little bit earlier, but I'd love to just
Perfect.
reiterate if that's possible. But yeah, I'm Ronak from Interstate Fuel Logistics. We're an MDB certified fuel supplier based out of Houston, Texas. I'm the head of business development, and you guys just heard from my sister, the president, earlier. And we're mainly a sub that specializes in supply of petroleum products. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys for the great information here today so far, and would love to connect with any of you if you guys are looking for, you know, a sub that specializes in petroleum products and logistics.
So awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Singh. Thank you. RSI Systems, Low Voltage Electrical. I don't have your name, but I'll change your name. Would you like to speak? RSI Systems.
That's me, Sharice Johnson, and yes,
Oh,
we are
hey.
Low Voltage Electrical, and that's the main thing I wanted to reiterate on that, as well as we are available to partner and be a WBE as well.
Great. Three more names. R. Soto. R. Soto. Sandy Esperanza. Sandy. Okay, the last is Sandy Morales, Alamo HR guest. Sandy,
Yes.
Morales, go for it.
Hi, I'm Sandy Morales, CEO for Alamo HR in San Antonio, Texas. And we have our ESBE, HA, all the letters, alphabet letters to include DBE. And we have our SBE with the Harris County. And we currently are prime and have been and are currently a sub with the VIA Transit Centers, providing, what we do is we provide HR consulting services and a whole bunch of staffing. We did pre-COVID, the sanitation technicians to clean the buses in San Antonio. And we've currently participated as a sub with a prime to staff about 20 or 12 to 15 ridership surveyors. And we're just glad to, extend some services down in Laredo.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Nehemiah. I see everyone's name. It will definitely be sent to everyone who, for some reason, couldn't get in. Nehemiah with education consultant. I got all your information. So thank you so much. We're going to close. It's 1:04. We're 4 minutes over, but I think it was 4 minutes well spent. In addition to the hour, you have Mr. Burnell's contact information for direct email. You also could reply to me from an email perspective. Eddie, would you like to say some closing remarks?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone that was on board on today's meeting. It really is very important for us to meet our goals and also to meet with FDA requirements. And I really, really appreciate everybody taking the time, especially during lunchtime. Again, thank you for everyone. And you do have my contact information. I do see some emails already popping in. And so again, thank you. And hopefully we can do a business relationship very soon. Thank you.
Perfect. I'm going to put my email in the chat right now, even though many of you have it, but I'm going to put this in the chat so that I got to do this so that you can email me. You may not have registered. I know, for example, there was someone on the line that was with someone who did not register, so that you can send me your name and contact information and phone number and web address and all that other stuff. And I will definitely, I just put it Goodwill at goodwillpr.com. Takeaway from that is make sure the E is in the back of good is after Goodwill is GOODWILLE at goodwillpr.com. And so I just put it in the chat. And please make sure you get that to me as well. I will wait till the end of the day to get everything so that I can include everyone when I email the PDF of the presentation, as well as the list of everyone who's registered and all those who sent me information to add. If there's no other questions from El Metro, Tina?
Yeah, nope, I'm good.
Anyone else? April, any other resource agency? Is anyone from TxDOT or FTA online? I didn't ask it. Anyone from TxDOT or FTA? Okay, great. All right. Well, with that said, thank you so much for your participation during lunch. I wish everyone well. You'll definitely be informed when the bids start, but please ask your question beforehand. The time to really get involved is not a month or a couple of weeks before the RFP or the ITB comes out. It's this next 8 months that you have is a time to make things happen. And you have that opportunity now. We have $12 million is only the start. Everyone here should be successful in achieving your goal, either by yourself or joint venture. And I wish you well, safety, and of course, success in business. Thank you so much, and please have a blessed day.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.